Nick was deeply worried about Ethan's situation. Without hesitation, he paid a visit to Ethan's parents. There, he discovered an extraordinary side of the boy. It was Ethan's remarkable talent for drawing. His confident brushstrokes and bold use of color hardly looked like the work of an 8-year-old child. He had even created a flipbook comic himself, depicting how he was gradually drifting apart from his family. Nick could hardly imagine everything this child had been through. He carefully explained dyslexia to Ethan's parents, but Ethan's father remained as stubborn as ever. He insisted that his son simply had a bad attitude towards studying. Nick was so frustrated that he grabbed a toy box from the house and asked the father to read the words printed on it.
ये कैसे पढ़ सकता हूँ मैं? ये तो चाइनीज में।
अरे कोशिश तो कीजिए, चलिए ध्यान दीजिए।
क्या बेकार की बात कर रहे हैं? मैं कैसे पढ़ सकता हूँ इसको?
आप बदतमीजी कर रहे हैं। आपका रवैया ठीक नहीं है। ये आप शैतानी कर रहे हैं।
In that instant, the father finally understood. Wasn't this exactly what his son experienced every day? The boy could not make sense of the words, yet he had always been blamed for having a poor attitude. The next day, Nick returned to school. As soon as class began, he told the students he wanted to share a story. He said there was once a boy who hated reading and disliked writing even more. Whenever he encountered words, he felt as though he were facing a terrifying enemy. All the letters seemed to dance wildly before his eyes. As a result, his grades were terrible. His classmates and teachers often laughed at him. Ethan became extremely nervous, thinking Nick was talking about him. But in the next moment, Nick held up a photograph and said, "That boy was Albert Einstein." The theory of relativity he later developed shocked the entire world. And it wasn't just Einstein. People like Leonardo da Vinci, Pablo Picasso, and Walt Disney also suffered from severe dyslexia when they were young. The people around them did not understand them. They treated them as if they were illiterate. But when they grew up, they became extraordinary individuals who changed the world. After hearing those words, Ethan felt as if he had finally awakened from a long dream. A smile slowly returned to his face. After class, Nick stopped Ethan. He told him there was actually another person who had dyslexia, someone he had not mentioned during the lesson. That person was Nick himself. Ethan could hardly believe it. It turned out that Nick had faced the same problem as a child. He wanted Ethan to understand through his own experience that he was not alone in this world. Many people had gone through the same struggles, yet none of them had given up on themselves. One day, the class organized an outdoor activity. Ethan built a small mechanical boat. Watching the boat move across the lake on its own, both teachers and students were amazed. Although Ethan shyly hid among the crowd, the fact that he was willing to share his creation proved that he was beginning to open up. After that, Nick spent his free time tutoring Ethan every day. He taught him proper spelling through drawing. He used games like hopping upstairs to improve his arithmetic skills. Little by little, Ethan learned to recognize every letter correctly. Sometimes he could even read simple sentences. He regained his love for learning and became incredibly hardworking. He was no longer the gloomy and withdrawn boy he used to be. To help Ethan build strong self-confidence, Nick even persuaded the principal to hold a school-wide art competition at the end of the semester. Around that time, Ethan's father happened to pass by the school during a business trip. He saw his son carefully reading the competition instructions. Thinking back to all the times he had wrongly blamed him, the father could not help but shed tears of shame. In the blink of an eye, the day of the competition arrived. Ethan got up before sunrise. He went alone to the riverside and stayed there for 2 hours. Soon, the competition began. The students all focused on their artwork. Some teachers even joined the contest as well. But Ethan was nowhere to be seen. Nick began to worry. Only after the competition had been underway for quite some time did Ethan finally arrive. Nick quickly handed him a sheet of drawing paper. Ethan found a quiet corner to sit down. Then he began to fully unleash his artistic talent. Under his brush, the colors seemed to come alive. Before long, the competition came to an end. Nick looked at Ethan's finished artwork. It captured the riverside where Ethan had first felt truly noticed. At daybreak, a young boy sat alone by the river, lost in thought. Flowers bloomed nearby, birds sang among the trees, and the stream flowed gently. It was the truest reflection of Ethan's inner world. Soon the principal announced the final results. One boy had outperformed every teacher in the competition. The student had truly surpassed the masters.
9 साल का ईशान नंद किशोर अवस्थी आपका
Standing on the award stage, listening to the thunderous applause from the audience, Ethan experienced genuine recognition for the very first time. At that moment, he could no longer hold back his tears and ran straight into Nick's arms. It was no exaggeration to say that without Nick's arrival, he would never have become the person he was today. During the competition, Nick had also completed a painting of his own. In that painting, Ethan wore a radiant smile and shone like a brilliant star. Perhaps in the eyes of others, Ethan was a hopeless underachiever. But in Nick's eyes, he was the brightest morning star in the sky. No one is born strong, and no one is destined to be foolish. May every child on the journey of growing up meet a teacher like Nick. And may all parents, while educating their children, take the time to truly understand them, so they can grow up in a healthy and supportive environment.